So here we are for the Wednesday workshop, and tonight we're going to be looking at something that comes from the teachings of the author and anthropologist Carlos Castaneda. And if you've not read his stuff, the first book is I have to say I like what he talks about in the first book. I don't like the style of it. It's written like a diary, and I find it, I'm mostly annoyed with it as I'm reading it. And if it wasn't for the good bits that I like, it probably wouldn't see it through. But he shifts from that style of writing into just proper good storytelling after the first book. And they're wonderful. And there's a big debate, and it will probably go on forever, whether all the books are telling the truth or whether the first one is the anthropological study and the rest of it is fiction based on his experiences and his own journey. We'll never know. But he spent time with a Mexican sorcerer, stroke, I'll say sorcerer, stroke shaman. And the books are all about those experiences. And I mean, I think I have referred to them in the past. There's a wonderful one called The Power of Silence, which is one of the later ones. And in there, he sends Don Juan, who's the teacher's character in it, sends Carlos off he goes, right, go out up the mountain and find somewhere to meditate. And Carlos goes up, and a day later, his teacher comes up to find him. Don Juan comes to find him, and he sat there in this beautiful spot under a tree, and he's all like, yeah, all zen in this beautiful place. And he gets chastised and told off for it because his teacher, his mentor, says, why are you sitting there? And he's like, oh, it's lovely, it's sunny, it's comfortable. And he goes, you're never going to learn and grow if all you do is sit where it's comfortable. Go to the edge of the cliff and meditate there, where you might worry about falling off and discover more about yourself. And it's full of little things, like little snippets of wisdom and insight there. So if you kind of, in the same vein as the Paulo Coelho books, so books like The Alchemist, it's that kind of magical literature, that spiritual self-development literature. Really great. What I'm going to share with you tonight was never put in the books. It was part of a 10-day seminar that he did with a group of anthropology students. So it's not readily available. It's out there, but you're not going to necessarily come across it straight away. And it's all about developing what he calls, when he did the training, magical attention. So I've called it 3 steps to magical attention. What is magical attention? And magical attention is actually just living fully aware of who you are, of your actions, and moving and living your life with the right action, moving in the direction of your destiny, your purpose, your goal, whatever you want to call that. And so magical attention is a technique to unlock your inner attention and begin to live a life of complete awareness and purpose. So in a way, it really ties into some of the things we've done already with iMeditate, about growing our awareness of who we are, knowing about what we want to do, where we want to go. And like I say, it was originally taught in a private seminar for a bunch of students. And the 3 steps are this: 1, attention to one's state. 2, awareness of action. And 3, awareness of listening. So the attention to state is basically living with the awareness in any moment of how you are, both mentally and emotionally. Paying attention and being aware of your mental emotional state in any one moment, but in the same way as we do with our thoughts when we're meditating, it's having that almost stepped back detachment where you're observing them, you're aware of them, but without judgment, but with honesty. So if you've had a bit of bad news and someone says you're okay, are you okay? You might go, yeah, I'm all right. When really inside you're a bit turmoiled and upset. And observing your inner state with honesty is being able to sit with those feelings and go, do you know what, this feels crap right now. Just being honest. No, this doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel nice. I currently feel sadness, but it works in both directions. So it can ultimately also be, I feel great right now. My emotional state, I feel happy and relaxed, and I feel good. And my mental state is I'm feeling very calm in my mind. I'm just enjoying this moment, both mentally and emotionally. So it's about being aware of your inner experience. Awareness in action kind of follows on from that. So when you have that awareness of how you're feeling in any one moment, you can then become aware of how your actions impact upon how you're feeling. And the reason we do this, you look across most spiritual traditions, most self-development traditions, in fact, and when we're on that right track, when we're living our purpose, when we're doing that thing we're here to do, most traditions will say that there are a few things that help us recognize that. One is a sense of calm. So we're doing this thing, but like a vast river, we're flowing. We're in the flow. And that's the second sign. So we're in that flow. It feels like, even though there's challenges, it feels like things are flowing. We can navigate the challenges with ease. And the third is that there is a sense of joy. So even when what we're doing maybe has its challenges, there's still that sense of calm and flow and a sense of joy in meeting that challenge. I'm not going to say happiness, because I think happiness and joy are two different things. And I think joy, to have a life full of more joy, is probably healthier than pursuing happiness all the time. So awareness in action teaches us to be aware of when our actions connect us to that joy and our purpose. So, for instance, you've got three choices of new jobs. Three different offers have come up. You've been for three different interviews, and each of them turns around same day, same delivery of post, and each one goes, "Hey, we'd like to offer you the job." Awareness of action means you can look at each one of those, stepping into it, imagine stepping into it, being aware of how reading that makes you feel in emotional and mental states, to spot that feeling of joy, of flow, and that calm. And then what you do is you follow that, which is then seen as following your purpose. Because if you look at the three options and one of them makes you feel a bit tense and a bit, I'm not sure, then clearly there's some resistance there. There's probably something not there. And if the other one you look at and maybe even feel a bit worried about taking it on, but then another one you can be aware completely within that, even imagining yourself walking to work or getting in on the bus or the car to go to that job, and you can just feel a calm flow and a sense of joy at the idea of it. That's the awareness of action. So it's the inner experience that our actions created, which, if you think sometimes about some of the things we do, I'll talk about how our emotions create a physical response. So like butterflies being the physical response to our thoughts and emotions around performing. This is almost then working it backwards, which is going, how does this action, that action, how's it affecting my mental and emotional state, coming from a place of personal honesty? If it feels bad, if it feels wrong, if it feels like it's going to be hard work or resistance, then the likelihood is that is not the direction you should be facing. That's not, thank you. That should not, I've just had a coffee delivered. Very unprofessional, hey, having a coffee delivered mid-recording, but hey. Thank you, V. I could edit that bit out later, but I'm not going to. I'll just leave it in there. So yeah, attention and awareness in action. And it brings us that greater awareness of our inner experience and action in the context of how Castaneda taught about it. Action, doing, movement is a magical act. Why is it a magical act? Because it takes the unseen, so the idea, the impulse, and it manifests it. So Sally just picking her coffee up, We can't see the thought, the process, or anything that went into that. It doesn't exist. But then from that imagined idea and that picturing and then thinking, right, I'm going to have a brew, imagine it, pitching it, picking it up, that becomes a magical act. A magical act, by definition, from people like Crowley, and that is the art of causing change in accordance to your will. Your will is seen as your true purpose. So if 1 minute you're not drinking a coffee and the next minute you are, I'm still not, that's tea. Technically that's a magical act. Something that didn't exist now exists. From the inner, from thoughts, from feelings, from an idea, they gain expression as an action in the real world. And when we have attention to state and a permanent attention to our inner state, always being aware of how we're feeling, what state our mind is in, when I say without judgment, just honestly, then we can be aware about how we feel in any sense and which direction we want to go and how our actions impact on that. Now, if we're in that calm, relaxed state of flow and joy, and an action that we start to take kind of alters that, then we need to question whether that's a right action. So it brings into awareness those feelings behind our actions and how they affect us, and we can choose the actions that make us feel best and feel more like our true self. The final step, and we've got some practical exercise we're going to do for this. I'm going to go through the theory behind it, and then we'll go through each one. The final step is the awareness in listening. Now, as human beings, and if you've ever done any sort of counseling course, it's amazing when you do the foundations of learning how to listen properly and active listening, the difference it makes, not just how you're experiencing what someone's telling you, but how they experience telling it you. But as human beings, in general, we're not keen on listening properly. And one of the main reasons for that is a kind of fear. And we fear that if we listen to other people fully, their experience outwardly may reflect our own pains and sufferings inwardly. And as human beings, we tend not to like moving towards pain. We don't go, oh, there's pain, let me experience it. We go, pain, what can I do to get away from it? Sometimes people find pleasure in pain, and that's a slightly different thing because inevitably it's the pleasure they're pursuing, not the pain. So we don't listen to others or even ourselves fully in case what we hear out there reflects the reality of our own inner selves. If we take that larger vision of oneness, of unity, the purpose of yoga is to experience that unity. The purpose of meditation is to experience that unity. We are all one. So when someone talks about themselves, whether it's their joy or their pain, we experience that also, because in oneness, that joy and pain is everyone's. So to hear someone completely is to experience their joys and pains as though they were your own, which you can, on one level kind of understand. But inevitably, by avoiding that, we're missing that connection and a deeper connection to that oneness of ourselves with others. So those are the 3 steps of magical attention. So we're going to go through some exercises today to kind of give an expression, an experience, an impression of those different attentions, those different awarenesses, which you can then choose to or not choose to kind of practice, take on board. But even if you only do this today and have an experience with each of the exercises, that experience already expands your overall experience of yourself and your life. So let's begin. Have a fidget, get comfortable. Oh, I've got one of those days where I feel like I need to hang from a bar and just be stretched. Probably just me. I don't know. Maybe other people will get that too. So have a fidget, get comfortable. And what we're going to do is we're going to begin by turning our attention inwards. So we're going to take 3 wonderful deep breaths. And no need to close your eyes and relax and focus within on the first breath. No need to close your eyes, relax and focus your within on the second breath. But on the third breath, as you breathe out, you can allow your eyes to close. Begin to focus within now as we take those 3 deep breaths. Breathing in, hold it, and breathe out. Breathing in, hold it, and breathe out. Breathing in, hold it, breathing out, allowing your eyes to close if you've not done so already. And just focusing within for a while. And there's nothing else to do, just relax. The more you relax, the more you can focus within, and the more you focus within, the more you can relax. And as we begin by just turning your attention inward, this is a moment to truly meet yourself, to connect with the physical, emotional, and mental states that define your being right here, right now. So as you engage in this process, just remember and allow yourself just to be honest with your experience, because honesty and precision are your allies. And take another deep breath in. And as you breathe out now, I want you to imagine that somewhere within you is a mirror. No, I don't know where that mirror is or what that mirror looks like. A reflective surface that shows not just your outer form, but the intricate details of your inner world. And as you breathe, as you listen to my voice, and as you relax deeply, just allow yourself to gaze into this mirror. And firstly, as we're focusing, shift your focus to your physical state. Maybe begin to notice the sensations in your body. The warmth, the coolness, any tension, or the relaxation. And I want you to take a moment, literally to take the moment, and describe those physical sensations to yourself in as much detail as possible. There's no need to change anything. Just be honest, simply observe, and acknowledge. That's right. And now I invite you to shift your focus to your emotional state. What emotions are present in this moment? Are they subtle, like the whisper of a breeze, or more pronounced, like a wave? Name each emotion without judgment, understanding that each one is a messenger from within. That's it. And finally, bring your attention to your mental state. In this moment, what thoughts are passing through your mind? What is the quality of your thoughts? Are they calm, chaotic, clear, or clouded? And notice how your mind interacts with your body and your emotions, beginning to become aware of how each state influences the others. And as you observe these states, just imagine the mirror reflecting them back to you with perfect clarity. If any emotion or sensation becomes too intense, just merely step back from the mirror. Let the intensity fade as you breathe in and out. And once it's faded, return back to your reflection. When we practice this, it's about noticing and describing and being aware of. But you will never need to become overwhelmed. Just observe with clarity those inner states of mind, body, and feeling, of emotion, how one influences the other, one affects the other. All reflected back. That's right. And when you feel ready to return, bringing that calm and balanced awareness of your inner state back into the everyday, And just gently open your eyes. Be here now. That's it. So now that we've done that first exercise to become aware of our internal states, it's time to extend that awareness into action. And this step is about cultivating alertness, a state of being fully present, both within yourself, which we've just experienced, and in the world around you. This is where the magic happens, where every movement, every action becomes purposeful and aligned with your true self and what you want from life. So again, have a fidget, get comfortable. And we're going to take just one deep breath. And as you breathe out, just allow your eyes to close. Taking a deep breath in. As you breathe out, just allowing those eyes to gently close now. And just become aware of your natural breath. Gentle rise and fall, that rhythm, that tide. And I want you to imagine that a hand is coming down from above and gently and slowly and easily pushing your awareness down from within your head, down through your neck, down through your chest, down through the stomach, and bring it down to the hara, that point, that center, a couple of inches beneath the belly within you, that center point. And just allow yourself to center yourself within that, within your breaths, and within that awareness, just holding your attention at that point a couple of inches below the belly button. And imagine that with each inhalation, you're drawing in energy from the world around you, drawing in chi energy as you breathe in. And with every exhalation, you're releasing any tensions or any distractions. Breathing in energy, breathing out tension and distraction. Continue for a little while. In with the energy, and out with tension, just softening the body. That's right. As you continue to breathe in that energy, focus your attention on your physical body. And as you focus your attention now on your physical body, you may begin to feel the readiness in your muscles. The groundedness in your feet. And I want you to imagine, pretend that your body is poised for action, like a dancer waiting for the music. That anticipation for when that first note and shift your awareness to your emotional state. as you begin to feel a sense of calm, a quiet joy that begins to rise within you. Now, I don't know where that begins for you, but as you begin to notice that calm sense of joy, let this feeling start to spin and flow within you, moving within you as it begins to fill your entire being, filling your entire being, every cell, every muscle, every fiber of the body, being filled with that sense of calm and a sense of joy, just a pleasure of being ready, allowing that calm and that joy to infuse every possible movement with grace and purpose. That's it. And then finally bring your attention to your mind. And maybe you can imagine your thoughts as a flowing river, clear and unclouded, flowing, unrestricted. And as you begin to experience that now, this is the flow of open consciousness, where creativity and intuition thrive. And you can find it easy to remain in this state of flow, receptive and aware, as we continue on with this exercise. And I don't know where it's going to be that you begin to start a simple action, a slow, deliberate movement of a hand or a finger, a slow, deliberate movement of the head, a slow, deliberate movement of a foot. But wherever you begin to start that slow, deliberate movement now, simple action, and as you do so, whether it's the swaying of the head, the moving of a toes, the moving of a hand, just allow that movement to start, that simple action. And as you allow that simple action to begin, that slow, deliberate movement, maintain that full awareness of your body, your emotions, and your mind. Begin to notice the physical readiness, the quiet joy, and the flowing thoughts as they all come together in this action now. All awareness in that movement, in that action, where every movement is a magical act performed with complete awareness. And as you begin to realize that now, you can shift that movement to another part of the body. So if you've been moving one hand, you can move the other. If it was one foot, the other. If your head or body was swaying side to side, you can gently rock forward and backwards, always returning to that state of alertness where body, emotion, and mind are in harmony. as your unconscious mind continues to realize what it is to move with that complete awareness, to have action with purpose. You can integrate those learnings. And when you're ready to let your movement come to a gentle stop, then and only then, once it's stopped, and you're ready to return with whatever insights and understanding you've gained, even if you're not consciously aware of that yet, then you can open your eyes, be here, be now, in this time and this place. That's right. Back here, back now. And our final exercise is to explore the idea of the awareness in listening. And listening is, as I said earlier, if ever you've done a listening course, it really is an art. And to listen with true awareness is to open yourself up to the world in a way that actually takes a little bit of courage. And in this final step, we're going to learn how to listen not just with our ears, but with our entire being, and allowing the words of others to resonate deeply within you. And when we can do that, our interactions with other people become so much richer, not just for us, but for the other people. And we start spreading and sharing something in the same way, like with the loving kindness, how it seems to just influence around us. So again, getting comfortable. And we'll take a few deep breaths again. I'll take 3 deep breaths again this time, just to center and focus within. Breathing in. Hold it. And breathe out. Breathing in. Hold it. And breathe out. Breathing in. Hold it. And breathe out. And if you've not done so already, just allowing your eyes to close. And I want you to imagine, pretend that your entire being is becoming a resonant chamber, like the hollow of an instrument, like a finely tuned instrument, ready to pick up even the subtlest of vibrations. Just imagine what that would be like, to be such a vessel that would capture every subtle vibration like the finest tuned instrument. And now imagine you're not imagining it. And begin to focus on the sounds around you. Notice each sound in detail. The hum of the air. Maybe the sound of your clothing as you gently move. The sound of your breath. The sound of my voice. And the faint noises that may be present in the background. Just notice each in detail. And rather than just hearing them, you may begin to allow yourself to feel each sound as it resonates within you. That's right. Each sound vibrating and resonating within you. And as you're listening now, bring your mind to a conversation you've had recently, or even the words as I speak them, and imagine the words spoken by another person or the words you're hearing now. And listen to them with your full awareness, hearing not just the words, but the emotions, the intent behind them. Imagine you can feel what the other person was feeling. Understand their joys, their pains, as if they were your own. And if at any point, as you revisit that conversation and those words, and as you're listening with the emotions for the intent, and as you're feeling what the other person was feeling, understanding their joys and pains as if they were your own, if any of that feels uncomfortable, from that deeper level of listening, simply just breathe and allow it to pass. But this is about understanding, not absorbing, feeling without taking on. And continue hearing that conversation. Test another conversation, listening fully with all your awareness, emotions, intent, joys and pains. Continue on. And so when you're ready, bringing your attention back to the present moment. And when you're really ready to be back in the now, back in the present moment, feeling calm, centered, feeling that sense of joy and flow, then and only then, open your eyes and just take a moment quietly to reflect upon how this deeper listening felt, how it connected you more profoundly to the world around you. And when you're fully back and you've had time to reflect on that, Then you just give me a wave to let me know. There we go. Thumbs up from Anne. Sally's nodding and smiling. And the beauty with these meditations, you can practice them one at a time by themselves. I've got waving and thumbs up from Anne now. You can practice them individually by themselves, but they do make a nice sequence, building that inner awareness. So I'd suggest practicing them if that interests you, maybe over a couple of weeks, and noticing the difference that makes for you.